All right, what is going on? My name is Daniel, and this is the second version or second video in this series called Templating in HTML. Last lesson we've looked at how to template using iframes, and I recommended that you don't do that. So let's take a look at a method which I actually recommend you use, and that will be using PHP. Now, if you don't have any experience with PHP, do not be afraid and do not run away anywhere, because we'll just look at a very, very basic structure of a PHP templating thing. All right, so I'm going to just delete this iframes folder because I just completely despise that method, and I'm going to add a new folder. Let's call that PHP, and we'll just set up a structure inside here. So let's add a new folder called views. And let's also add a new folder called templates. Okay, so I'm going to show you what a structure of a regular HTML template looks like. And this is what it looks like. Now, you can see that this is the home.php to one of my previous projects. And you can also see that it doesn't really display anything. And I'm going to tell you, if you have no experience with PHP, you'll be wondering why that happens. Well, the reason why that happens is because you don't actually have a server running, and PHP requires that. Now, do not run away yet. Type in xampp into Google and just download xampp. It's probably the best server that you can download to your local machine, but you can use any one of yours. The important thing is just to include your project into your xampp htdocs, and then you can have it anywhere here. But this htdocs will be your www folder pretty much, so everything will start out from there once you start it up. So what you'll need to do is start xampp up, and where do I have it? So you go into where you have it, and you go into xampp, and then you do xampp start. All right, and I'm not sure that worked, but I think I also have a desktop icon for that, and not really entirely convinced that that is true. Of course, I don't have it. Okay, but let's test out if my xampp actually works by navigating to this folder, localhost / where they have it inside. Let's go index.html. Okay, and you can see that localhost /tut is now available to me. And let's just actually go navigate here, /php / and then this is where our files will be. So first of all, inside the /.php, I'll add new file called index.php, and then this will just kind of look like a regular PHP file with everything on it. And then in my previous example, I had templates and views because I actually had kind of a single page application that will change depending on where you click. But this is not our case here. So we can just basically go and create all these files. So for example, index.php can have all of these. All right, and let's see, let's have all of these here, and then here we'll say that we want the main section. Yep. Okay, so remove the footer, and then of course you can remove everything from the header onwards. All right, and we'll exchange that to some PHP. Now, to open a PHP and start using it, you'll have to have PHP tags. They look kind of familiar because they look much like HTML tags. And there are two methods that you can use here. Now, one is require, And if you look back on this one, which I've closed for some reason, if you look back on my htdocs UI slug, and then inside PHP I have the views home. Okay, so if you look back on this, you'll see that I have view root here. Now this is a global constant in P that I think I've specified it earlier on, but do not worry about that right now. We just need the require and where your file is saved if you want to do it very basically. So let's see, we want to have, so to compare to our index, we'll have that inside templates. Let's slash header .php, and then close that, and then you can just copy and paste this and then put it down here, and we'll say footer. All right, so save that, and then you can just, oops, what's this? Okay, so you can just copy everything that's in the header and copy that, and then inside the, we can just remove this use folder. It was just a habit. And then inside the templates, we'll say new file, and we'll call it header.php. And of course, we'll copy all that, save it, and then inside the templates, we'll create a new file called footer.php. And we can now grab the footer information from our index, and that will be here inside the footer. Okay, save that. You can close these. You don't have to worry about them anymore. And then inside index.html, that's also not needed. Now let's start copying everything from the contact. All right, so index.php, new file called about.php, and we'll copy that, and we'll of course copy the required files. And I'm probably, if I have time, I'm probably going to show you way more modular way to do this. But I mean, if you have a little bit of a brain, you can figure out how to make this so that there's one file that collects everything, and then you don't have to require all the time. You can just do it from there. I think I've got the contact PHP. And one thing you'll have to do is you'll have to change all the links, by the way. And I didn't do that before, so I'm kind of stupid. But, I'm just rushing this. So, okay. Right, and then you probably do one last thing, which is the blog. And, why did I put it here? Okay, so now one thing about this PHP format is that you can now technically, if you have a content management system or whatever, you can just use that, and that will work with your PHP. And I mean, that's the file format that you will need anyway, so why not start with that? Well, we'll see. It comes handy with blog, and then put that here. And of course, all the requires go on top and the bottom. And then here we'll have the require bottom. Okay, save that. And then because we have our server running, oops, of course it's not going to work yet because we need to change inside the contact. We need to change all the links. Well, let's check out if our index works. PHP index.php. Oops. Of course, we have set it to. All right, never mind. In the next video, I'm going to continue that because my free recording limit is approaching. So see you in the next one.